Hey everybody, Old Man Alchemist back with a raw and wiggling review. This one is for Aether and Iron. The too long did not read is that I enjoyed the game. It's a well made, its art style is beautiful and it's just fantastic and it's well worth the money and you'll be happy with it. Now, let's get into a few finer points. So it's Mythopia. I have to say that Seismic Squirrel did an outstanding job on world building. They really set up a really nice, unique experience in that it's an alternate history of the 1930s New York, and it's characterized by a floating city and a deco punk aesthetic. And in this idealized New York City, all the islands that make up New York City float, as I said before, and people are driving around in flying cars. They're using a remarkable new energy in order to get this levitation, and it's a substance known as Aether. There are people that actually maintain the machinery of these floating cities and the cars and everything else, and they are named Aetherians. Without them, of course, the city would fall and none of the transportation would work. But, of course, the Aetherians, who are the grunts, are considered the lower working class. Now, each island that makes up the city is run by a baron. There are three barons in the story. The first is General Eli, a fanatical despot who runs one of the islands, and he's just a really mean, I think it's White Street guy. Yeah, he's bad news. And then there's an old woman named Marm who basically recruits street urchins, little children, and turns them into her gang. She has I guess what you would call a criminal charm school that she puts these people through. But in any event, she's still running roughshod over the people that are in her barony. And the last one is Annie the Axe, a fanatical zealot who basically the equivalent of, that prohibition for alcohol type. But this is basically, I'm going to tell you what to think, what to eat, what to listen to. There's no music and, I mean, just no fun, no nothing. It's a horrible, horrible life this Annie the Axe wants to bring about. And so the barons fight amongst themselves for power to further their ability to exploit the masses under their control. The barons rule the lowers, while the true strings of power are pulled from the uppers. And in the uppers, there's an institute that's the only place that studies Aether, and they're trying to understand it and tame it. Because an anomalous growth of Aether is occurring in a section of the city that threatens to expand and consume all of New York City, the lowers and the uppers together. So that's the backstory of the world. And we play as Gia, a disgraced smuggler looking to make a comeback after a job that had gone severely awry. Her nickname is 8-Shot Randazzo, and she got that on account that she emptied her revolver into the person who killed her uncle and then reloaded it and pumped more rounds into him. And her pride and joy is her car, the Chimera. That's kind of where our story starts. We get a mission. It seems simple enough on the surface. We have to pick up some naive scientists at the ferry station. We have to take her from the uppers. Well, I guess, she's coming from the uppers to the ferry station, and then we have to take her to her requested destination in the lowers. And once we get a hold of the scientist named Nellie, everything starts to fall apart. First, our car is stolen, and destroyed. Nellie had a briefcase that had all of her research, and it was hidden in a compartment in the car, so that's all gone. And of course, there are people who want to prevent Nellie from continuing with her research because they want the disaster to unfold, which is really bad. And so we wind up getting sucked into this conspiracy that threatens everyone due to the machinations of an invisible order known as the Trust. And so we meet a wide array of people in this game from different ethnicities and age groups, and it's good to see a good variety of folk, both melanated and those that are not. You have a crew going to meet some, I would say, a rogues gallery of people who are going to aid us along our journey. And all of them have suffered a great deal of loss and or abuse growing up in the conditions they faced in the lowers. So you can expect an adult story. You're going to have to deal with the loss of one or more characters during your gameplay. The majority of the story takes place, you have vehicle customization. Your vehicle is paramount in the game, and all of your abilities and tactics revolve around the use of your vehicle. There are some interesting customization options, from weapons to things that will buff and debuff, utilities that will heal, and of course, increase defensive capabilities. It all really depends on the type of play style that you want, and also the role you want a particular character to fill, and how you equip their talent tree, because that's very important. Not only the talents, but also the equipment and what a person's driving, what vehicle, the whole 9 yards. So you're going to need to experiment to find a loadout that works best for you. The last fight, I had to change the talents of Gia so that she had the ability to also heal, not just Cress. And that's how I was able to get through it. For most of the game, my first build worked fine, but the second one, the last part of the game, I had to respec Gia so I could get past that last boss fight. All right, so the mechanics of the game. The game takes place in two modes. Most of the conversation and interaction in the game world is done on a 2D screen with clickable objects that give you information and advance the story. And combat takes place on a moving 2.5D screen. Combat itself is tactical and turn-based. The road has hazards that once you begin to understand what the different symbols mean and you understand the timing, you can allow those to punish your enemies. And you can even push your enemies into areas of the road that have hazards, and it will cause them harm. You can also use innocent bystanders as cannon fodder to cause cascading damage, because when their vehicle breaks apart, any vehicle behind them, the detritus of their wreck is going to just hurt everybody in a line behind them, which is really nice. So your moves are controlled by the number of action points that you have, and the type of vehicle, as well as the equipment of the vehicle, can increase or decrease your action points. Unused action points can be banked for the next round in a fight up to a certain amount. And sometimes it's more advantageous to just heal and bank unused action points and allow the road hazard to do the hitting for you. Especially I found that play style worked out best for me in the last boss fight. So, my closing thoughts. The game was stable. I really didn't have any problems, and I don't remember any crashes. There might have been one, but for a new game, it came out, and I really had no problem. There had been a problem with save games not showing up, but the developer has gotten that all sorted out. If there's any complaint that I have, I would have to say it has to do around the balancing of combat. Not all combat, specifically just the first boss fight and the last boss fight. Those were just brutal. It took me 12 tries to get through the first boss fight. You know, everybody knows I'm not the best, most agile gamer. It takes me a couple of seconds to aim a gun in Dune, so, you know, my reflexes aren't great. But, you know, guys who are really good at gaming, like Slandered Gaming, even said the first boss fight was difficult for him, so I didn't feel so bad because he had a hard time. And the developer did say that they were going to look into toning it down or balancing the first boss fight a little bit more. The last boss fight, Slandered Gaming said that he got through it in the first try. It actually took me quite a few tries, and I had to respec Gia because the loadout and the crew specification that I had been using the entire time and getting through fights, and I thought we were really doing great, did not work for the last boss fight. Now, I also have to, you know, critique my play in that I wasn't really in the first try that I am the last goodbye, the first try of the last goodbye. I wasn't using the road hazards right, and my timing and everything was off, so I might have been able to do it with my original loadout had I played more tactically. But this game will punish you if you don't use it tactically. So, should you buy it? Heck yeah. It's a fun game. It's different. I would not mind seeing them do another story in this area. You know, I mean, it looks like there's a lot of possibilities and branching storylines that you could do just with this setting that they have with Gia and the gang. So I hope they continue to do something with it. It's definitely worth it. I think the game is $30 or something like that. And if you can get it on sale, all the more better. But this is definitely a nice, unique game. It's implemented differently. And I think if they make another game, all they're going to do is make it better. Because, yeah, they did a pretty good job this time. So, all right, that's it, guys. I enjoyed the game. I hope you guys will enjoy the game. That's that. Hey guys, if you've been enjoying our playthrough and want to stay abreast of everything we're doing on the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Do me a great favor, crush that like button also, and finally, leave me some comments. Let me know what you're playing, what you're looking forward to, or just what's going on with you. Until next time, this is Old Man Alchemist saying stay cool and peace.